under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Smash that like button. Let's go. What's up? What's up? What's up? It is your girl. What up, y'all? So welcome back, Survivor Nation. It's your favorite breast cancer survivor. Survivor Speaks, and we are live. All right, so we have some explosive updates from the P. Diddy trial. So buckle up because today's court drama, it just took a wild turn. We are here. What up for always? Thank you so much for being in the building, up in the house. And I know I can always count on you. Thank you. Today it's for the books. Today is something for the books for always. I know Allie will be here in a minute, but today is one for the books. I want to say that some people may think that today's in the P. Diddy trial that this was a milder day. I don't think so. I think that some of the attorneys, and this is a sad thing to say, especially for people that have to retain an attorney. My bad. For the people that have to retain an attorney, it is like, it's disheartening to see that some of the attorneys didn't see Rico until today. We're going to get into that too. So yeah, some of the attorneys really, and I guess it was, they needed to remove like all doubt. Maybe but some of the attorneys that I saw, that I have been like watching just to see to get an attorney's take on this, all of them, and I don't know if, anybody follows these other reporters who are also YouTubers who have extensive backgrounds and law enforcement backgrounds. Like, for Nancy Grace has been arguing with a lot of male attorneys, believe it or not. I mean, well, not believe it or not, but she has, and I think people are just looking at it because, you can tell that Nancy is is about woman empowerment, but they kind of get the same treatment, right? But there were a lot of people saying that they didn't see Rico, but today I do see some of those attorneys have turned the corner since they put the professional witness on the stand. So there are a couple of things that happened, right? So first things first, they got to finally argue, but not really argue, because Judge Submarinium had said on Friday that basically he knew that he was releasing the juror, but he was going to think about it again to see if he would change his mind over the weekend. And so we saw today he came in with all of his stuff lined up and basically said, Juror 6 is out of here. Now, what happened today is, I don't know if y'all caught it or not, if anybody seen it or not. Wait a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me see who's in the chat before I hop into what else happened today and what could be the reason behind this decision that may be made, right? So, did another jury get too cozy in the jury box, or get too what is it, lackadaisy, um, with the witness, with the defense table. I'm not sure, but something is definitely going on. And every time one thing happens, you can see Diddy's team pivot, right? We didn't get Brendan Paul today, but Brendan Paul is supposed to be on tomorrow. We're going to talk about that. So, was the secret bias in the jury box? We're going to break it all down. Plus, bombshells from the prosecution's final witness list, and who is turning out to be the government's star witness. Some of us already had thought that, but the government kept this one close to the vest, and a lot of people that were speculating just have been just that, speculating, and the government allowed them to do so, because I believe that this witness was because they have witnesses that are under seal, cannot be talked about at all. But I think that this is one of the reasons, if you were wondering why they said Diddy looked old, crumbled up this is the reason why. And this may be the reason why. This witness may be the reason why other celebrities may be squirming. Another thing, we did talk yesterday, we did talk about Kanye West's pop-up. And I was thinking about it yesterday, because my mind just sometimes I watch a lot of, like I said, true crime. This case is a true crime case. So I started thinking, like, Kanye West, I knew you was losing it, but you gotta be like one of the biggest fools in the industry, in the music industry right now, right next to, I want to show my support to P. Diddy in the middle of this trial, right? Especially the possible reasonings why he popped up at the trial anyway. Let's talk about it. Let's see who's in the chat besides for always right now. Allie, I knew you was going to be here, girl. I knew you was going to be here. What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all, we got to talk about this. Another juror was talking about the case after the judge says every day not to talk about the case. So for always, now we're going to have to go, I'm going to have to go over there, because I didn't see up until that part. I knew that the judge was going to be discussing another juror at the end of the day. And the last time I checked the updates, it was when they had released the jury. Plus, I was working on another. Oh, goodness. Hold on, y'all. Oh, no. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Thank goodness. You might have been looking crazy. All right. Now I know it's locked in there. I'm sorry, y'all. My batteries. No, okay, for always. Kanye is seeking attention, but I think that he just made one of the biggest mistakes in his life, right? And I have reason behind it. But so I didn't check back over when I left off, they had dismissed the jury, right? The last time I had checked the feed, because I knew we were going to go back over there to the feed anyway. The last time I checked the feeds, they released the jury. And so, like I told you, I'm reading in between. Being at my mother's, making sure she got everything for the day, making sure she's straight for tomorrow, and just checking on her. But so I didn't see the update, so we're gonna go and do that together. But yes, let's talk about how they asked juror number 6, and how Puffy's team tried to make it seem like they were releasing this juror because of his race. Now, I don't think race is something that they want to play with. Normally in the Southern District of New York, they rarely have juries where they have African American people on the jury. A lot of the time, their juries are predominantly Caucasian. So, in this case, and even one of um, Diddy's, somebody on Diddy's team even said they had never seen a more diverse group of jurors on a case ever. And how about one of the alternates? One or two of the alternates are African American. So they were so busy fighting for juror number 6, right? Because the judge is like just going to move the next alternate over. The numbers are all mixed up. Some they've had to have the jury box, the people in the jury box just switch seats. So I hope they never put jurors in a box in chronological order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all mixed in. You won't know who is what juror number. You will not know. That's just how it is. Because even though the defense and the government, state, whatever it is, they may have the jurors' names, they still might not know which juror is which, like what name fits the juror, right? So juror number 6, they were making such a big deal about this because I guess because they had more than one meeting about this juror, and so we already figured it out. The juror was a male and he was African American. We found that out, and they were fighting so hard to get this juror removed. So now they have another case with another juror, and they were saying that the defense really didn't care if they dismissed this juror because ultimately they knew the juror would be replaced with someone that's African American. Puffy's team filed a motion over the weekend, fighting so hard for juror number 6, trying to state that the government was, wanted this juror off of the jury because he's African American. But, Judge Subterranean is very fair. He's unbiased. Sometimes I guess, as he looks at the law and thinks about the law, or, as he looks at the law, because he goes and he looks at the law, if they have cases that they're bringing up to show why they are objecting, or and there's has been a case precedent, he'll look at it and take it into consideration. But he's very fair on both sides. Like some motions he's made in favor of the defense, I'm like, how? But he's very fair. And so what I don't think that he appreciated was for Diddy's team to be saying that the government is moving people because of their race, and they try to apply some other laws to the reason why the juror should not have been removed. The judge shut them all down and explained why their arguments held no merit, because they weren't. If they would have came out and said we want him removed because he's African American, that's one thing. But no, they wanted him removed for lack of candor. If you cannot answer a simple question as to where you are, where do you live, and you're asked a question 3 times, and each answer is different, how could you be truthful with a case like this and continue to sit on the jury? So I don't even think that this is something that they will win on appeal. They can try to use the race card, regarding this point, all that they want. I don't think that it's going to go anywhere. Yeah. So this judge seems very fair. It didn't have anything to do with that for always. I am definitely with you. It was because of the juror's lack of candor. They asked him where he lived. He said the Bronx. Then he said he moved to New Jersey. I've been living in New Jersey for about 3 to 4 weeks with his child and fiance. First, he said he lived with his aunt, child, and girlfriend in the Bronx. Now he living in New Jersey. Now he stay in the Bronx 4 to 5 times a week. He got an address. That gave it away right there. I got an address in the Bronx, but I stay in New Jersey. It doesn't make sense. I don't know if we need to change Brian Steele's name to Brian Steele Wool, because this is just it's not working here in the Southern District of New York, and definitely not with this judge. It's not. Nessa's in the building. What's up, Nessa? What's up, Nessa? What's up? We are not even going to be... Okay, good. Okay, thank you. We're not even going to be here long. We're just catching up on today. So, the good thing is that we did have 2 people get on the stand today. They're considered summary witnesses, and kind of put into perspective, finally, for the people and the professional attorneys in the back. Hey, look, listen, you wonder if your other half knows to him, because he said he lived in the Bronx. No, he don't, because he don't live in the Bronx. That's what I believe in. He don't live in the Bronx. he lied. So anyway, well, okay, back to my train. Y'all know I gotta stay on task, or my chemo fog brain will be all over the place. So they put the professionals on the stand today, and oh my goodness, what some of us that are just consumed, we are true crime junkies, don't have a law degree. What we were able to see, it needed to actually be put in these people's face in black and white. How Rico is a Rico. All right. We're going to go on a little segue, right? And if y'all catch it, y'all catch it. But I want to talk about this before I forget. So 50 Cent. That's all I'm saying. It's 50 Cent. Ciao. 50 Cent's son decided to wake up yesterday and troll his father on Instagram. And we know that 50 Cent does not care about who you are. He gonna get his troll on too. You woke up and decided maybe that your father was slipping because it's Father's Day. Little Marquise. Not only did he get you back, in one post, he got you and your whole family, your mother, and he added the sister in. 50 got to be the most professional troll that we have witnessed ever in our lives. I just can't. I said, why would Marquise even decide to say something to this man? Let me go over here because I got to read it. I said, look, they're going to learn one day. I don't want no problems with 50, ever. I don't care. I don't care what you're doing, but let me go on over here to 50. Let me go on over here to 50. Hold on a minute. All right. Okay, so let me get this over here so I can tell y'all what 50 Cent's son decided he thought that it was all right to get up yesterday and troll his father. They don't learn. Hold on, let me find it. Because I said 50 Cent is petty for this. But I guess if he decided to get up and troll him, he had a right to troll him back, right? I guess. But where is it at? Because when I tell y'all, I said, no, 50, no. Um, okay, so maybe, did he take that one down too? Hold on, I didn't think he took that one down. I know he's removed one of his, hold on, I know exactly where to find it. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. They don't take nothing down. Here you go. So 50 Cent's son decided to get up yesterday and thought it was, oh, it is still on his page. All right, so 50 Cent's son decided to get up yesterday and troll his father for Father's Day. And he put up a picture of his father, and it's supposed to be a player prop and a betting slip. Father's Day sports book. And he put, oh, it's Father's Day with the wide eye emoji face. Happy Father's Day to all the real ones, he says. I'm watching is it BET or his bet, and it ain't looking good. His bet, because it's a betting slip, right? And it ain't looking too good. I got the over. He put ... We all know this the day for photo ops. The day ain't over yet. Finish strong. Get on your job. So you know he was being smart about the get on your job part, right? You throwing all sorts of subliminals, doing everything that you can. And so 50 Cent decided, oh, this mofo forgot I don't care about. We don't get along anyway. We don't have no relationship. Screw one. To finish up strong, comment, he definitely is 50 Cent's child. Because I caught it. He threw it out there and I caught it. But anyway, 50 Cent decided that he was going to put up a post in response to his post. And he said, you little punk, your mama got you and your sister scamming. Child, take the wheel. I was wondering how $6,700 a month was still stretching on and on and on and on. Do you have any type of investments, girl? Child, but this is what 50 Cent said. Now, you know he got the money to go and look and find out. So this is I'm just reading what 50 Cent said. This is not Survivor Speaks. I am reading what 50 Cent said. All right. He said, them people came to ask me some questions about it. And I said, I don't F with them. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Child. They know that if they commit any type of crimes, leave 50 Cent alone, because he going to put it on the social. And that's going to be it for it. Now, if they wasn't looking at you, now they got every reason to. They know that 50 Cent does not care. He does not care. So he did another post, but he did a post and delete. I'm going to just read what it said. I don't know why he put it up here. I'm going to just read what he said. Child said 50 was on one yesterday, child. And then he changed this post after he put it up there. But, 50 don't put nothing up, because the shade room going, got it. And they ain't taking it down because you put it up. You may have changed and edited the post, but the shade room got the original post. Okay. So it says here. Oh, that's cute. So 50 Cent said, oh, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, little biatch. I'll have full custody soon, little biatch. You'll be back on OnlyFans in no time, little biatch. But how is your day going, you little biatch? 50 Cent. I need 50 Cent to give me all his devices. He got any assistants? I need 50 Cent to give him here. Give them here 50. This is for your this is in your best interest. Give them here, please. Give me all of the devices. You don't, if you need to post to Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are posting, you just need to get approval before you post. 50. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. He edited the post and he switched the post up. I said, oh, okay, 50. So we got the answer to one of the questions that we were thinking. And we not, because what we about to talk about, y'all in the chat, y'all know what I'm talking about. 50 said, look, I don't want them filed. I'll have full in a minute, you little bitch. I said, oh. I'm pretty sure it's going down. And I don't know, just to be fair with y'all, I don't know how they can work against them. Yeah, he is a professional troll, right? But can we, like, when we are really, really trying to look at facts here, 50 got a case. I'm just saying. Before I start talking about anything else, because this ain't got nothing, potatoes don't have nothing to do with potatoes. Tomatoes don't have nothing to do. I guess they're supposed to be the same. All right, I need to find some. Mixed vegetables and mixed fruit is not a great combination. They don't have anything to do. But if I was somebody and I was sitting behind the bench, motion granted. Not now, right now. Now, granted, with the first son, the one that decided to wake up and troll his father yesterday, I do believe, and I am going to say, people may be upset with me. There was a breakdown, I believe, in the relationship between us. And here we go. It lost the connection. I don't know if it's still going or not. But y'all don't go nowhere if y'all can hear me, because it'll be back in a minute. I don't know why this thing does this. I'm going to have to talk to the people over there. Can y'all still hear me? He definitely got a case. He definitely. Oh, yeah, I guess it is still trying to reconnect, because it didn't show you. I try to put your comment up for always. But if you can hear me, he definitely has a case. I don't know what this thing is doing. Restream, we got to talk. Is it because I didn't plug y'all? We're gonna have to have a conversation, me and Restream. Let me see if it's Restream or is it my I got full bars. I don't know what's going on, y'all, but it says it's reconnecting. If you could still hear me, then go indie we are. Can you guys hear me? I think he definitely got a case. Okay, good. I don't know. It says something about my computer's reconnecting. I don't know why it says that, but if y'all can hear me, let's let it work itself out. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to talk to Restream, because yeah. Anyway, I believe he definitely has a case, right? So I'm gonna say with his son Marquise, there was a breakdown with the parents, with the mother and the father. There was a breakdown right there. And we do know that sometimes it's sad, but it happens. Women and men, depending on who has the custody, likes to hold the child from the parent. And it's tiring to be messy. And like some people just like, I'm not going to deal with the mess. I'm going to just keep moving. But there is such a thing that whichever parent is raising the child is definitely going to be taking on the mannerisms of the parent who raises them, right? But if you have a child that's not living in both homes, and you basically don't tell them anything, and you allow you co-parent well, then that's something else. I just don't believe. I do believe that you know a child should have like a comfortable upbringing, especially if the parents have the money to do it. But when you start going in the I need $10,000, $20,000 a week in child support, I'm gonna need you to stand down, especially when you were with the person before he got any money, he didn't have nothing. So it's not like you're in a marriage where the other party has to maintain the lifestyle. I'm tired of looking at this thing talking about oops, it's reconnecting. It's not like that. Let me see if I just do this. If this, that, there it is. Okay, there you go. There it is. We're back. Hey, AOBD, what's going on? So I just think, yeah, thank you so much, Ali, for sharing. If you are, I am a partner of Restream, and if you are interested, if you are a, what do you call that? Content creator, and you are looking for a different place to stream, you don't want to figure out a music situation and all this other kind of stuff, actually, depending on what you select, whatever you select, they do have a free tier in Restream. Of course, I play my own music that I own, but you have the option of adding your own music, adding your own graphics, adding your own everything, or you can just go ahead and use the options that come with the Restream packaging. So yes, so if you go on ahead and sign up using my link, it won't cost you anything extra, but because I am a Restream partner, I will, get a little commission at no charge to you. All right, thank you so much for putting that up. And now, cause forever for always pointed that out last time. So yeah, so I just like, wait a minute. I do use Restream. It was a different platform that we were trying that didn't work when we get to a certain point, but I don't use them anymore. So I never talked to Ish about my baby dad. That's right. Yes, grow up. They will see the truth. You got to be saying. Me and for always is listen. My daughter don't know Nan. And not only will your children find out who the other parent is, like the other parent could be somebody that's acting like they're, I'm above board, and it's the parent that you're with that's so messed up. And then you get a child that's adult now, and they have all the time in the world to spend time with you, and they feel like you're an asshole. I mean, what you gonna say? That's something that you did, or you may get, the child may get a certain age, and they may confront the other parent, because they've noticed some things and picked up some things on their own. I'm the type of person that I never try to tell people who other people are. I simply let them reveal themselves. That's just me. That's how I think. But getting back to 50 Cent and the first child's mother, Marquise, I believe that there is a lot of the mother having such a big, she has a lot to do with the way 50 Cent's first child feels about his father. That's just my belief. I'm looking at everything. You have to look at the things that he posts now on Instagram, his son. Now it's not anybody else in the mix. We can have a conversation man to man. Now nobody's in my way. I'm a grown adult. But then you see his mother under all of his posts when he says something. Oh, that's my little muffin. Oh, that's my sweet baby. Oh no, this, that, and the third. So you can kind of tell, like, this boy has not come to the conclusion about how he felt about his father, especially before he was an adult. And And another way that you can tell by the reaction of, I can't even say. So you could tell by the reaction of the Diddy trial. As a woman, right? Irregardless as to, and this is what people don't understand about co-parenting, right? Irregardless as to what happened between you and the other party, that has nothing to do with children. I don't think parents have the right to hold their kids hostage, especially when they're grown, right? Because you already put this stuff in their head as a child. You already filled their head with a bunch of adult conversation that you never should have had in front of that child, right? And then you go from having these adults saying these things to them as a child that adults can't even figure out how to put together. And then you have them grow it up. You continue with the same narrative that you was going along as the child. And so kids have nothing to do with outside affairs. If your daddy slept with this person and had a baby on your mama, that don't have nothing to do with the children. It doesn't. It's a sick, sad thing to put that in children's heads. Listen, they said that that's your daddy's maybe. Ask your daddy about how the baby got here. Don't ask me nothing, because I can't tell you. I was not there tonight. They was together. That's just all I'm saying. Why would you even try to explain? Like, I hear this all the time. Oh, you know what? Look at what you did. Now I gotta explain to him. No, let his daddy explain to him or her. You want to know what? Ask your daddy. Whatever your daddy tell you, that's what it is. But like, women get so emotional and get all in the mix and want to tell you about how this stuff happened when they don't even know, because they was not even there. And the same with men. It's vice versa. Some men have full custody of their children. Some women have full custody of their children, and they use the children against the other parent, or to keep like a one up. So that's just always been my thing. If you really, I hear women all the time. I hear men too. Oh, I'm gonna go to war for mine. I'm gonna lay down for mine. But you don't care about your children's mental health. You don't care about their mental stability. All that goes out the window when the father went out here and did something. And now they got a little Susie down the street as their sister. All that goes out the window about that. Oh, I don't want you down there because that don't have nothing to do with it don't have nothing to do with the kids. That's the term that I came up for that. Men or women holding a child hostage based on their feelings about when they were dealing with a parent. I don't think that's right, and I don't think that you get to do that. Especially when you moved on with your life, but you still holding the child hostage. Come on now. Anyway, let me get off that subject, because some people can't understand. Like they don't understand. I think it's definitely, it's definitely, she has some influence on how that young man feels in any type of relationship that they would try to have. You could tell from social media. It's really crazy. You could tell from the social media and her responses how she's already willing to combat the relationship. How old is Marquise now? Why do you have a problem with a child that this man had way, long past you? Regardless as to who the mother is or why the mother is more willing to allow him to be around his child. Well, at the time. And another thing, I think that is so messed up, because if I had heard this before, then it would be one thing. But I've never really heard anybody say that 50 Cent has essayed them. I've never heard that before. And if child, I've never heard that before until this other woman came along. Never. So you know how people say stuff about other, celebrities. Oh, this, don't do this because this, don't do this because that. I've never heard that about 50 Cent. I heard it the one time. And now I hear this one repeating it again. Like, they already proved that you were lying. Like, so maybe you should have to do some time. You don't want to victim blame, but you weren't believed the first time. And now, all right, let me just go on to the next thing when it comes to, all right, now let's get into the Diddy trial. That's enough about 50 Cent, his rants from yesterday. Hilarious. But his son tried it. He tried to be 25 cent to his father's 50 cent, and it just didn't work out well for him. That's all, y'all. So let's just move on. So let's go to Kanye real quick, y'all. Then we're going to go over here and look at these updates really briefly. So, the whole thing about Kanye West showing up on Friday, right? Now, we're getting into the Diddy trial now, right? Okay. So, the whole thing about Kanye West showing up at the trial on Friday was because there was some testimony about a celebrity on Thursday. Listen, and supposedly it was Kanye, right? So that's what they're saying. So he pops up out of the blue, out of nowhere, just to show his support. He's not on in order to be, each day that, Diddy's family comes to the court, they have to be on a list. Kanye wasn't on the list. The young man that's been wearing sometimes he's the only person, the sole supporter of Diddy. A lot of times he's with the Diddy's family. He did an interview and said, "Oh, Kanye West was on the list, but he just didn't want to go and interrupt the courtroom." Then somebody else said, "Oh, they had 2 rows in the courtroom reserved for Kanye." Now, well, they said Kanye came in there and gave his name, and they told him, "You ain't on the list, so go on over there to the overflow room." And that's where he was, in the overflow room. So if anybody saw him or ran into him, they ran into him coming out of the overflow room, because he was only there in total about 20 minutes. I thought he was inside longer than that. They said he was in there for about 8 minutes. Somebody inside said he was there for about 8 minutes. And the rest of the time he spent trying to figure out how to get out of the building, because everybody knew he was there. He made a big spectacle. He needed to get out of the building. But you came to the courthouse in the Maybach. Come on now. They knew somebody was stepping out. But anyway, if you did, insert yourself, because there was testimony about another celebrity at a freak off. Another celebrity and their wife at a freak off. Diddy was not there. I guess this is what they do with their money in Hollywood. And if you were that celebrity that was there with your wife, you think the feds may be looking into you? Because even if it was in Nevada where it's legal, you still have to have a license. Remember, we cleared that up. We looked into that, and that's what we got, because we couldn't. I knew it was legal somewhere. We looked it up right here online. It was Nevada, but you have to have a license. You have to be a part of a brothel that has a license. Kanye, you got that, bruh? Because if not, and because the government, y'all just go with me here just a minute. We all know all of the heat and hot water that Kanye is into, right? He got a lot of stuff going on. Sad, so sad. He better blame it on, Do the Wire. That's what all I'm saying. But the government shut that down so quick. They wanted to say who the celebrity was. The government shut it down really, really quick. Could that be because they're going to be doing their own little investigation into Mr. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, are we over it? We just over here using our thinking caps a little bit. I don't think it was a smart move for him to show up. I think the time was all wrong. But anywho, I digress. That's just Survivor Speaks and how my mind just thinks about things sometimes when, in between everything else that I'm doing, my mind thinks like, now, why would he do that? Because, yeah. All right. I'm just thinking, y'all, I don't know. Tell me what y'all think down in the comments, child. Because I don't think that you done brought some, you put the spotlight on yourself. And it still didn't take any shine away from this case, though. So it was all done for nothing to me. It was, he took the shine. Now, he could have remained that way if he had stayed longer, because while he was there was like a whole big, but the fact that you came and left so quick, it was quickly done with. So let's go over here, right? Let me see. Do I want to mess with Matthew today? Inner City Press said, Inner City Press, let me tell you something. I love Inner City Press. Like, right? I'm looking at him now 29 minutes ago. All he put up here was Christina Corum. I kid. Oh, okay. So he's all right. So he happened to run into a different case. He stayed for a different case with Judge Subterranean. So that's what he's talking about. But okay, so let's get into. So for the other juror, even if they had it, I did read this earlier, but I just remember it now looking at Inner City Press, that the judge did say, let me just bring him over. Let me bring it over here. The judge did say that they're going to talk about that additional juror that there's issues with. It's going to be done and sealed. Let me bring Inner City Press up here. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Let's go. It is field trip time. Let's go on the field trip a little bit. All right. So here it is right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. So in the morning, Judge Subterranean said it would. I often call him Subterranean. It's Subterranean. Said it would be addressed. Somebody asked me, what about the juror? It would be addressed at the end of the trial date, either in a sealed courtroom, which meaning they're going to kick everybody out of the courtroom and have it there. And so that's all the press, all of the, the press plus. I consider YouTubers the press, but they just have to get their dibs after the press gets in. And some of the people from the press said that they wound up being in the overflow room because they have to be there early enough to get their seat inside. And some people, I do think they're YouTubers, content creators, but they just consider themselves the press. We're all journalists if you really want to think about it. But anyway, so they do get away with way more than we can. So he said it was either going to be in a sealed courtroom or in the robing room, which is where they hold the jurors before, when they're waiting to go out into the courtroom. But nothing, absolutely nothing was going to be said on the record about it at the end of the trial day. So we won't know what is the issue with that juror, what happened with that juror. We won't know anything. That's unless the judge decides that the juror is going to be booted for some reason, and they have to make an open record about that, for appeal purposes. Because why would you be holding that information under seal? But maybe if it's something that is going to protect this case, and the judge is not going to boot the juror, then maybe he'll just keep it under seal until the case is done with, because they already defendant that Diddy's team is already, they trying to pull some legal mumbo jumbo. So we're gonna just take a look right at some of the there were two witnesses that they put on the stand today, right? So we didn't get Brendan Paul today. Brendan Paul is to be considered the star witness of this case. I want to say that Brendan Paul may be just, now that we know that Brendan Paul is testifying, and that's the alleged rug mule. And we know they held that close until Friday. It was the first time they exposed that. Brendan Paul was going to be taking the stand. And then today, they were told that Brendan Paul will be taking the stand tomorrow. I guess that's what some of the press got. So what they got in here today, look at the picture. I want y'all to look at the picture. So I watched an interview with the lady that does these drawings. And she says that she tries to capture their faces in these sketches as close to what she sees. Sometimes she has to take like a visual image in her mind because she wants to get it right. And I can actually tell you who all of these people are standing around here by just looking at this picture and not reading whoever's name it is. But if you look at Diddy, he looks like he is going through it in the sketch. So that's Diddy seated. This is still standing up with his hand on the chair. This is Xavier here, the bald African-American guy. I know this is Agnafilo. Now, maybe I don't know, maybe one of them is Tenny, could be Tenny. But you guys, guess who's at the trial? And they still are calling her the same name. So YSL Granny is supposed to be at the Diddy trial. She is somebody that sits there and watches the jury, and she gives them her perspective on how she feels that in which way the jury may be leading according to what she sees after she watches each juror. So YSL Granny may be one of the reasons why they were pushing back so hard about juror number 6. But the judge is like, no. He shaded his answers because he wanted to be on this jury. And so they're not really taking that. But I wonder what was being said here. If you look at Diddy here, it was very interesting to hear her say how she sketches them. So she said, if you look at the sketches when Jane or Mia was on the stand, you'll see that their faces are like just a blank canvas and just an outline, because she couldn't put anything identifying on their sketches. I thought it was quite interesting to me. Y'all know I'm all about. I'm all about that. But let's see. Let me get this to a good point where we can see. So he says here, yep, day 24 summary witnesses and Diddy, Rug Mule, Brendan Paul is on tap before U.S. closes. Inner City Press is covering. Inner City Press, I want to know where he's from because I don't think he's from. Okay, so let me go back here to the top. You know what? I might pull up my other girl. Let me see because I like the fact that she has her stuff numbered. Hold on a minute. Let me see. I like Inner City Press too, but I like the fact that she has all of her stuff numbered. All right, so let me see if I can get to today's because I want to show y'all final week for Brendan Paul. Yeah, and they're calling Brendan Paul Diddy's former assistant, y'all. So we heard from Ananya Sankar today and Delicia Penland. We heard from her today too. So that's what I'm saying. Brendan Paul is definitely the star witness in this case, even more important to me, I believe, than Cassie, or as important as Cassie. Okay, so here we are. Let's go to through today really quick. All right, so it says Judge Aaron Subramanian is now seated. He said on Friday that he would use the weekend to determine if he would dismiss juror number 6 or not. He wanted to further look into it and look over all of the stuff. Okay, for always. He wanted to look into it and look over all of the stuff that he had, all of the evidence that he had regarding juror number 6, right? So now here we are. The judge says last week the defense objected to any additional questioning of the juror. They didn't want listen to what is this is how Diddy's team is flip-flopping. Pay attention. So this is the judge saying last week the defense objected to any additional questioning of the juror. I took time to reflect on the matter. The record revealed significant concerns that the juror may have tailored his responses to secure a spot on the jury. His inconsistent answers brought his credibility into question, and as a result, the court signaled that he should be removed. Now, the defense is requesting that we question him further. Pay attention. At last week, the defense was saying, no, leave him alone. Don't ask him any further questions. We don't want him removed. They were making a big deal about it. So today, the judge told them, like, more than likely he was going to be removed on Friday. However, he was going to take the weekend to think about it and to look over everything. Now today they get in court, and the judge starts, saying how he feels, what he thinks of, how he read the evidence and was it against anything. And now the defense is like, question him some more. No. So it says the judge says the defense expressed concern about substituting an African-American juror with a white juror, referencing a Second Circuit case. The court acknowledges the seriousness of that concern. However, additional questioning at this stage would be inappropriate and could disrupt the jury's functioning. I am with him wholeheartedly on this. This is precisely the reason why alternates are in place. Mr. Donaldson commended jury's diversity. So, Mr. Donaldson, I gotta see who Mr. Donaldson is. I believe Mr. Donaldson is somebody on the Diddy side. I don't believe that Mr. Donaldson is an attorney. but he's somebody on somebody that's on Diddy's team, and this is why I think the judge is pointing this out here. Why are they so pressed to keep this juror? That's why they have alternates move on. Because what it is for always. So the reason why they're trying to press it, because they were trying to make this into a racial issue, right? And the judge is shutting this down. First, they said that, well, it had always been a racial thing they were trying to get into. And so they were saying it was because of the United States, the government. So when the government said last week, no, we need to make sure that we have this on the record, that we did not have this information before, and we did not know anything about this information until it was brought to everyone's attention today. Because during voir dire, this information didn't come out. The juror actually ran his mouth, and the people heard it, and that's how we're here. So they questioned him. None of his responses match. So why should they take time out? Even though they even went so far as to Puffy agreeing that if they kept this juror on as part of the jury, he would not appeal based on those grounds. So I'm with the judge on this. Wait a minute, y'all you are even willing to have Mr. Combs waive his rights to an appeal if only for this reason. So the reason is isolated. Oh no, keep juror 6. I won't appeal for that reason. It further makes it look like something. What's going on here? Right. So I knew he was somebody, but I thought he was somebody on from Diddy's side. Am I wrong? All right for always. But it says here, Mr. Donaldson commended jury's diversity, describing the selection process as having worked wonderfully. The defense has urged the court to make its decision based on race, which is not appropriate. Therefore, juror 6 is dismissed and replaced by the first alternate. So the judge then goes on to say, regarding the defense's claim of prosecutorial misconduct, it essentially asks the court to rule on the basis of race, something the court cannot and will not do. Regarding the matter concerning another juror that came up on Friday, so we was like, what in the whole entire what? Another juror? You made it to your appointment. They said they felt Nessa, send me a message when you are on IG, when you get in the inbox, Lord. We're gonna speak everything's gonna go well into existence. That's what we're going to do. It's well. All right, so counsel should let me know whether they prefer the questioning to take place in a cleared courtroom or privately in the robing room. So basically, the judge wants to do this under seal if they need to question the other juror. It's something that he was already said is not going to be put on the record today. It's not going to be done in open court in front of anybody, so we wouldn't know anyway, unless, like I said, they make a difference, do something else. So then the judge calls for the jury to be brought in. The judge don't be trying to hear nothing. All right, this is what we're going to bring the jury in. I don't want to hear nothing. And then she did a poll whether or not, do you agree with the judge's decision? 72.5% of people said yes. 27.5% of the people said no. The jurors entered. And so Miss Sankar is on the stand, y'all, right? So I want to thank you so much for putting those prayer hands in the chat. If you are in the chat, please put some prayer hands in the chat for Nessa C. And I'm just speaking it into existence. That all is well. So they call Miss Sankar to the stand, right? And Miss Sankar, she said, what was your role in relation to this case? She said, I worked on 2 summary charts. I was tasked with verifying their accuracy. Can you explain the source documents those charts are based on? They're drawn from hundreds of pages of underlying records. Who appears in the messages shown in the chart. Christina Coram. Listen, y'all. Christina Coram, aka KK, come on down to the front, because it appears that these last two witnesses from today put pieces together where you're going to see Christina Coram is the, I want to say, is she more in this than they named Puffy? And you're going to even see, I don't know if people caught this, but I'm going to show y'all and read it to y'all and tell me what y'all think. It even appears that in some of this testimony that they're trying to make it seem like, even when it comes to Diddy, Christina Coram just had that, she had something over him. He would listen to her. Christina Coram is she's going to be on trial next. I'm just telling y'all. It's no Christina and D-Rock. Now, I don't know if they're going to try them together or try them separately. But those two for sure, I'm certain that they're going to have cases against them. Excuse me, I need to take a drink. She is I'm right there with you for always. I believe that she is, but they're not being tried in this trial. She's going to be tried when this trial is over. I also believe that D-Rock is somebody else. Maybe D-Rock, maybe and Fahim. Because I thought that D-Rock was, and they have been mentioning D-Rock all through this trial, right? They mentioned Fahim in spurts, but towards the end, they're making it more clear that Fahim played more of a leader role in this enterprise. That's what I got. So it says, and whose phone number is listed here? That belongs to Brendan Paul. If y'all notice, the way the government introduces their witnesses, they normally tell you in through other witnesses what's coming next. And I think it's pretty dope. I'm like, oh, okay. This is how they do it. But now they're gonna, not only are they going to, because this is a summary witness, they're not just gonna just jump to Brendan Paul. But what I did notice that they did was, when they started talking about something that where Brendan Paul was named in it, they didn't show it, because I guess it's probably things that they're going to ask him when he's on the stand. Uncle Paulie was very instrumental when it came to Cassie, and it seems like after that time, right, he kind of like drifted off to me. So let's see. So Uncle Paulie could be another one, I believe too. Yeah, because he was heavy in Cassie's testimony. He was in a little after. He was heavy in that, all mixed up in that. They brought the Cassie, then the Capricorn Clark, and Deontay, Bonner and everything. They basically all was working with Cassie. So then now they have Jane take the stand, and then a lot of the testimony is tailored to Jane. Of course, they mention Young Miami. I want to see what they're gonna do with that, right? Because they're trying to paint Young Miami out to be like a co-conspirator of Diddy's, and I've never heard anyone in the court say that. That's in the court of public opinion, based on the information that we have directly from Young Miami's social Instagram and her tweets on Twitter, and Gina Hoon, who has not, who is victim number 3. I think she's victim number 3, or supposed to be victim number 3, Gina, and I think she refused to come and testify. So I don't know. Let's see what they're gonna do about that. But she had the most to say about Young Miami. Along Jane had something to say about Young Miami, but it wasn't criminal at all. It's just that she saw Young Miami out with Diddy. She didn't like it. She was just basically jealous. But Gina, on the other hand, she's a different story when it comes to Young Miami. And then Young Miami, child. I mean, it was one instance. I think she could have argued. She was arguing with Gina, but it was one. Was it Instagram or Twitter? It was either I forget whether it was social media or Twitter. It was one. I want to say it was Instagram. One of her Instagram posts that can be incriminating. I think Cassie was victim number 1. Jane is victim number 2 for sure. Gina is victim number 3. I thought it's either 3 or 5 because Mia, even though Mia was an assistant, she's a victim also. But I thought that Gina was victim number 3. Either number 3 or 5, something like that, because I know Mia was a victim. And Bonna, in her own right, is a victim too. So let's see what they say. So it says, whose phone number is listed? They said that belongs to Brendan Paul. How did Miss Quorum respond to Mr. Lopez regarding the paid worker? She replied with 4 laughing emojis and asked, how long is he going to stay awake? Y'all see that? How long is the worker going to stay? Oh, Mr. Lopez, regarding how long is he going to stay awake? Because you know that these paid male workers were also provided with rugs. So how long is he going to stay awake? So this item dated January 30th of 2023. Is it an audio recording? She says, yes, it is. Miss Foster, please play the first minute and 10 seconds of the clip. A female voice says, 2 things were weird. The only person who knew was you. Someone found an iPad. And it says, the voice B says, yes. So we do know that is the assistant that was on the stand on Friday, Mr. Perez. What paralegal Ananya Sankar is doing is to validate summary charts containing text, calls, and images. Oh, she's just explaining. All right, so let's go to the next, to the government. What does Christina Quorum say in this message? She says he's going to the Four Seasons and wants you to bring Gatorade and chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup, Gatorade on the side. Lord. So it says, let's read through these messages. I'll read for Dave Shirley, and you will read Christina Quorum's responses. They're really getting into Christina Quorum here. So this is Dave Shirley. Rock riding with him. We know that's D-Rock, right? This is Christina Quorum. No to Rock. And then Christina Quorum says, can you deliver? They are showing you the Rika. Can you deliver $4,000 in cash from Rock to the hotel? Dave Shirley says, sure. KK says, just a heads up, he's planning to do a Wild King tonight. So I'm gonna ask y'all here before I go any further. Now, does it seem like KK knows what happens during a Wild King night or no? Let's not forget the iPad that mysteriously was left, and it is an employee ID, an iPad that the employees used, where they had the King Knight with Jane on it left out in the open. If you didn't notice during this trial, Diddy likes to test people. So, did she know about what's going on? Because remember, Jane said, oh, they didn't know and they didn't want nobody to know. So I think that the government was very strategic in bringing that witness that they brought in on Friday to kind of like, okay, well, Jane didn't know they was recording it or knew what was going on. She just thought that they knew what was going on between her and Diddy as his love interest or whatever, his girlfriend supposedly, but they referred to Jane as the guest. Diddy play too much, and so does all his staff. Okay, so it said you'll be back in a minute. Okay, got you. Thank you, Allie. So it says, I forgot to grab the cash. Just hand it to Fahim, just in case. So Dave Shirley forgot the cash. Just hand it to Fahim, just in case. What message did the hotel send to Miss Coram? The hotel called, said, Paul is coming up. Brendan Paul? I think it's vague here. Let me read what it says next. Does Paul show up in other parts of the chart? They're talking about Brendan Paul. Yes. So let's turn off the exhibit monitors for the public and the press. Inform me once the screens are off. Listen, Brendan Paul is testifying. They cannot leak anything regarding Brendan Paul right now to the gallery, which consists of the press, or to any of the overflow rooms, because it can hurt the case. I don't know if, I'm just mentioning it because some people may not think that far, but, oh, girl, here. I'll be reading through all of it. So, the judge said, so please read the following exchange between Jane and Miss Coram. Now, y'all, if you ever doubted Jane's testimony before, I believe this is it. In this right here, they're going to clear that all up for you. She was a victim. I'm not conflicted in the fact that I know she is a victim. She's a willing victim, though. She's a victim of when gold digging goes wrong and you're still gold digging. That's what she's a victim of. When gold digging goes wrong and you still doing it. Okay, can you ask them to bring up 15 bath towels? What the? So that's what KK says. Now, this is Jane. He usually brings between $5,000 and $10,000. They're expecting the guests to check out of the presidential suite by 1 p.m. Child, this is all they showing you. They are showing you the enterprise. They are showing you the money, how the money is being transferred, how KK is in all of these different messages without Diddy, and they're reporting to KK. Oh, they really bringing KK out in here. And some things are not being said in open court because some of these things, I'm pretty sure, Brendan Paul is going to clear up on his testimony as well. All these women were victims in some way or other. Yes, they were when they got to a certain point. Well, Cassie has always been a victim to me. That her case is just crazy from the beginning. But Jane, baby girl, the fact that he met you You met him through one of your girlfriends who was dealing with him, regardless as to who he is, says a lot about him, and it says a lot about you. I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it 100% real. From what I saw in this case so far, Jane is a victim, but let's just go on here. This is where they getting them on the RICO at, y'all. Y'all gonna see. So it says, what are these messages concerning? We're headed out, right? Christina Corbin says that. So the United States says, what are these messages concerning? That witness on the stand says they were arranging a flight for Jane. Flight. Keyword, flight. And this one, these are flight details sent from Jessica Ruiz to Christina Coram for Arthur Jr. and Paul. Now, who the hell is Arthur? Listen, y'all, I ain't see that. Who the hell is Arthur? Maybe Paul, maybe Brendan Paul going to tell her, who the hell is Arthur? Because you notice they're just saying Paul. They're not making a different, they're not different, making a difference between Uncle Paul and whether it's Brendan Paul. At this point, it's Brendan Paul who's going to be taking the stand shortly. Girl, what about these messages? It says it's a request to pick up cash for Guido. Now, remember, Guido was mentioned by Perez on Friday at Mapleton. See how the government just puts all the pieces together? They ain't gonna let you go too far. We're gonna make that make sense in a minute. Maybe tomorrow, maybe, it ain't no court Saturday, so we're gonna make it make sense on Monday. Here it is making sense. So it's a request to pick up cash for Guido at Mapleton, and Jane says yes. What text does Christina Coram send to Sean? She writes, Guido's outside. Combs replies with an audio message. Please play the audio. Yeah, they're not saying Uncle Paulie. This is Brendan Paul right here they talking about. Uncle Paulie, most of his stuff was brought out during, the part of the case where they were focusing on Cassie. Because they focused on this victim by victim, and then the people that played the parts within those victims, they put them in. So you see Christina Coram, she was part of the witnesses where Cassie was involved also, and spilled right on over to this person. She's even, he's even mentioning Christina on the secret phone that they found. She's even a part of that. and there's a motion that the judge said that they can actually use the voice clip from when Diddy said he found the phone, and it got some ish on it, because that's when him and baby girl went to the bleh, he didn't say what, and I ain't erased nothing. Get me Garagos. I need my attorney Garagos's phone number. He thought that the phone was going to help him. No, it wasn't. Whatever they overlooked, they told he was told, if you have any of the devices, they must be turned over. So here goes the audio they're playing of Diddy. Combs is in a hoarse voice says about Guido. He told KK to take care of it. Guido's waiting for that cash. He told KK to take care of it. KK, home girl, did you want to come to the secret girl palace? You want to talk about KK, girl? Whew. So it says, and how does Coram respond? She replies, done. Ciao. Do some of these messages involve Cassie Ventura? Yes, they do. Let's look at page 5, May 2nd of 2017. What are these messages? They're texts between Cassie Ventura and Christina Coram. What the F is what Cassie says? Coram says, are you okay? Cassie says, no one deserves to be dragged by their hair. Let me look at this date again. Set the date up. Okay, so let's look at that's all they say there. They're just trying to make some points, right? Let's look at rows 87 to 92. Messages between Cassie and Christina Quorum from April 20th of 2018. I just can't do this anymore. That's Cassie saying, look, KK, I can't do this no more. KK know exactly what's going on. Listen, she gonna say, I'm here for you. Heart emoji. What the? Cassie says, I'm feeling down, but I don't want to mess things up. KK says, don't let it throw you off track. It's not worth it. What ain't worth it, KK? Child. Y'all think, let me move on. Because there's a reason why they said ask Perez. Do you think that Mr. Combs and KK was romantically involved? And that was asked by the defense. Okay, she said it's not worth it. So the United States says, let's move on to Jane's messages. You'll read her part. So Senkar is Jane. The government is going to be whoever else is in these messages. So Jane says, we had a fight. I'm skipping hotel night, but I'll still bring him a cake. Oh, just so loving, Jane. So it says, what's the date on this message? November 16th of 2023. All right, Nessa. All right, we got you. And thank you so much. And just what you're doing is way more important, but than what we're doing here. So, and I thank you for what you're doing right now. I really do. I thank everybody that, realizes something and then goes and see about it. So thank you for that, Nessa. So it says, go ahead and play the recording, right? So this is recording from November 19, 2023. The phone rings, then Sean Combs' voice is heard. Combs says, we can't really talk on this line. Hold on, let me get the Sean voice out here, because hold on, y'all. I gotta get a Diddy voice out here or something, because he's a fool. He's foolish.
We can't really talk on this line. You know what I mean? I reached out. I called. My love is real. No doubt about that. It was just some freaky stuff I thought we both
liked. Nessa, don't be on here telling us about no crime you would have committed against Diddy. Oh, Lord. That's hilarious, though. Give him one. Sure enough. Look at Jane voice shakes. Let me see. Do I got something I don't think I got nothing for Jane. Maybe a little bit. Here we go. Let's see if this will work for Jane. Jane says,
I don't know. It's just the way it happened, word for word. It's insane. It feels twisted.
Buffy says,
I really need your friendship right now. Don't send any texts.
Y'all know I ain't got none of the sense that God gave me. So here go Buffy again.
I just needed to say I really need your friendship. Baby, I'm about to go see my mom, you feel me? Please keep me in your prayers, my little crack pipe.
He didn't say crack pipe, but he said all that other stuff. All right. And so here we got Jane with her foolishness talking about,
okay.
All right. So, and what's this 3 days later? Christina Quorum writes, we all know what your kryptonite is. You like the voice? Listen, If I do the voices, I have to keep them straight. I gotta remember who is who. Looking like it's too much pressure, too much pressure. So here is this is Sean Puffy Combs. Let me see if I can remember who he is. Hold on, y'all. This is Puffy. He come with something else stupid. Here you go.
Please have Robin double check that her rent is taken care of.
And yeah, and here go Christina Corbin. Let me find somebody for her. Let me see. Let me see if this could be good for Christina Corbin. She says.
Robin said her rent has already been paid.
I don't think I like that for Christina Corbin. Anyway, she said, and what's the next item? It's a photo discovered on Miss Coram's phone dated December 28th of 2023. The image shows a cell phone screen with a message that says, this is Jane. Lord help Jane.
I lost work opportunities. You broke me. You asked what I needed to heal. And now you're angry with me. Oh, wait a minute, y'all.
Hold on. Let me go back. She's having this conversation with her and Christina Coram. Child. All right. So it says, who is this conversation between? She said it's from Jane to Christina Coram. Okay, so I was right. That was both Jane to Christina Coram. So then here go Jane again.
He said he'd send the recordings through my baby's father. I'm traumatized. He kept asking me again and again who I'm seeing. He said he's going to send the X tapes to my child's father. I'm drugged in them. What he's done to me is beyond painful.
All right, then he say, how does Miss Coram respond?
I haven't talked to him.
And these next images, photos of a phone screen, can you read what they say? And this is Jane. She says,
You've effed up everything. You've effed everything up. You won.
And what are we looking at here? Video clips recovered from KK's device. Please play the audio. So the woman's voice says, like $1,000. And what's shown in the accompanying image, it appears to be a long manicured fingernail. That's interesting. That like KK sounds like Darth Vader. That's exact. Then that's correct, because that's what she reminds me of. KK she's just as dark as Diddy is. Like what? So it says, what does Miss Coram write in these messages? All right, so she's writing, but we're gonna do it in her voice.
They're just hanging out at his place, heading out to shop like King Night Vibe, but Gucci bag move. Laugh out loud.
So you know that's Young Miami. Y'all, you know she talk about Young Miami. The long fingernail, the long manicured fingernail, like $1,000. That's Young Miami all day, y'all. Come on now. And then she talking about they just hanging out. King Night Vibe. Or Gucci bag mood. So maybe she's asking her, they're just hanging out, but are you want a King Night vibe, or are you in a Gucci bag mood? When you know that King Night vibes always include moves from the Gucci bag. Come on, y'all. It's the rugs. Come on, Christina Coram. You got doctor. Your Honor, this may be a good point to pause. She says, and he says, all right, we'll take a break, and they're back. The jury is shown a summary chart messages, which includes messages between Combs, Mia, and D-Rock. Let me direct your attention to a message from November 19th of 2023. What did D-Rock write to Combs? Child, let me find a voice for. Listen, D-Rock, Now, I don't know how this is going to make you sound, but need to hear your. Wait. Ain't nothing there. Need to hear. Ain't nothing there either. Come on. I can't even find a word for D-Rock. Here we go. We going to find him. Yeah.
Need to hear your voice, bro. I love you.
And how did Mr. Combs respond? Where puppy voice at?
Thank you for checking on me. I really appreciate you. Love you.
Come on now. So Combs says,
I'll call you back. I'm talking to the kids.
And D-Rock says to Mia,
Where are you? I know we're gonna make this one, D-Rock. He said, where are you? We're gonna make this meal.
Virginia Beach.
So D-Rock then texts Mia's number to Mr. Combs. So she sends Diddy Mia's number. This is when they're looking for Mia. After this court case, remember, they brought it out in the beginning when Mia was on the stand that D-Rock reached out to her after Diddy got arrested. And remember, she was hiding from him. But she was acting like she was not, but she was. But she was trying to act like she was trying to, So D-Rock then texts Mia's number to Mr. Combs. So Mia says to D-Rock,
I didn't have my phone. I was scuba diving.
All right. And so D-Rock then says,
we're opening a new restaurant on the 17th. He said he doesn't want anything from you.
So Mia says,
it's smart to stay in your bubble. I'm on an island off the coast of Honduras.
And D-Rock said,
I'd love to hear more about Honduras. Let me know how I can send you some.
And Mia says,
I never asked for anything.
And D-Rock says,
I'm allowed to send my sister a gift.
Charlie trying to find out where Mia is at. I'm with Mia. You wouldn't be sending me Nathan. And so this does corroborate Mia's testimony, because remember, they trying to say Mia lied, Bonner lied, everybody lied. Everybody lied except them. So yeah. So anyway, so Ms. Sankar, did you have any other involvement in this case beyond what you described? She said, no, I did not. No further questions, Your Honor. So now, Ms. Garagos. Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Sankar, I'd like to direct your attention to a specific message from Damian Butler to Mr. Combs. Let's pull up the exhibit line 363. This message was sent days before the legal filing, correct? Yes, that's correct. And Mr. Butler tells Mia that Mr. Combs wants to speak to her. So is Mr. Butler D-Rock? No, that's not. Yeah, that's D-Rock. Damian Butler. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She says yes. He also assures her that Mr. Combs doesn't want anything from her, right? Yes, that's what the messages say. Now let's look at the message Mr. Combs sends Mia on February 7th of 2024. Child, trying to find Mia. They think she's slow. Exactly. And so remember, they said that she was lying. This is exactly what she testified to. So on February 7, 2024, I'll read it aloud. Hey, I don't want to be blown. Oh, so this is Sean. Let me read it in Sean's stupid voice.
Hey, I don't want to be blowing up your phone. Just needed to talk to you for 10 minutes. Just need my memory jogged on some things. You were my right hand for years.
Child. Now, why would I? Did y'all see the video of when, I guess they was at an airport at a landing spot. This was right after the raids. and right after Brendan Paul got arrested. I don't know if a lot of people missed this, or I saw it, but I didn't see it where it looked like they were sharing it everywhere. But you guys may have seen this. And Justin Bieber gets out of the truck. He has on a pink hood, and Puffy put his arms around his neck and then pats him to see if he's wearing a wire. Child, wait, I can't even change the. I need an ear horn. Sorry. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I remember it. I remember seeing the video, and I was like, who is responsible for recording this? Because whoever is recording this and Diddy mind, I know you had to see this video. And when you saw this video, and you walked him away, like away from the truck, away from the area where everybody was standing, but he just patted him down right there on the he patted him down like right there. Like I said, this man is asking for it. Hold on, y'all, because I got the warning before it go down. Where is it at? Hold on, it's getting ready to go down. It's getting ready to go down. Let me change this. But yeah, I saw that video is I was like, oh my goodness. Is this guy just straight losing it, or are we losing it? We see what you did there, bro. You could have waited until you got a little further out of sight, but soon as Justin got out of that car, and it looks like Justin was surrounded by so many people. I don't know about anybody else, but it was pretty disturbing to me. I didn't like looking at that video. I didn't like that video. It was very worrisome, and some of I feel so bad for Justin. I just feel really, really bad for him. And hopefully one day he'll be able to speak his truth. The things that he's putting up on the internet is crazy. That song that they said he made about Puffy, that is something that was done using AI. That was not Justin. And I think people should take into consideration when you making these items, these satire items, that you at least take into account that some people are really dealing with this guy in real life, in real time. And like, people don't think about that, because I'm going to make this video with this song that's sounding like it's Justin and put it out here. Oh, Justin is finally speaking his truth, when it's just too much for me. He patted him down. So yes, for always. He was getting paranoid once Brendan got arrested, of course. So and I'm with Mia. He don't want to keep blowing up your phone. They know exactly what happens when they don't answer when he reaches out to them. So all right, so Puffy is still going, y'all. So here we go.
So I just speak to you to remember who was even around me. And it would be good to hear your voice. But if you don't want to, all good. Just let me know. Love. Hope you're well. Does that match the exhibit?
So Sanger says, yes, it does. Come on now. Did y'all read what he just said? Come on now. Did y'all hear what he just said to her? With the exception of, does that match the exhibit? Because that was Garagos asking the question. Yeah, whispered in Justin's ear. Yeah, probably, if anybody asks you anything, you don't know nothing. All they need to ask him is, tell him you are safe. Nothing's going to happen to us. Can you tell us about those things that happened when you were at Diddy's house that he's gotten on camera numerous times and stated that you know better than to speak about what happens at Big Brother Diddy's house? That's what they need to ask him. There you go. I figured it all out for them. That's what you need to ask him. But did you see when Justin was a little younger and they had him in front of the grand jury, and you see how he was not folding. So he got that mean streak in him where, it wasn't even about Diddy. I don't think it was about him and something else, but he was like telling them in the grand, next question. What are you going to ask me something stupid like that for? Like, so I don't know if they can really like put fear in him. And you shouldn't be putting fear in him. Like from what he posted, and it's on the Shade Room about some messages between him and a friend. It's pretty sad. It really is. So then Garrigo says, so after that message, D-Rock informs Combs that Mia's phone rings as if she's out of the country, correct? And the witness on the stand says, yes, Miss Sankar. So, and to be clear, you've seen no records suggesting that he called Mia again after that. Yes, there are no further records of contact. Miss Sankar, I'd like to turn your attention to a message exchange between Christina Quorum and someone identified as Jane around Valentine's Day of 2022. Yes, in this exchange, Jane expresses excitement, doesn't she? She said she does. Specifically, she writes, I'm excited to surprise him, correct? That's right. And she's referring to Sean Combs. Yes. After that message, Jane sends Miss Corum some photos. Yes, she sends images. And what do those photos show? A hotel room decorated with rose petals and heart-shaped balloons. So Jane was preparing a romantic surprise for Mr. Combs at the time. That's what the messages and photos suggest. So, Ms. Sankar, let's look at a text exchange from February 25th, 2023 between Christina Quorum and Jane Sankar. Okay. In these messages, Ms. Quorum reaches out to Jane twice, asking her to call, correct? Yes, she asked Jane to call her. And Quorum also says that Mr. Combs is pushing her to finalize plans. He says that's right. Now, how does Jane respond? Jane says, my answer to him is no, and it is still no. Did Quorum acknowledge that? I don't know if they think that this makes them look good, or I know what they're trying to prove here. They're trying to prove that Jane does have a voice. She can tell Puffy no, but when you look at it, is in full context, it looks like Christina Quorum is doing some pushing on behalf of Puffy. We all know that when he gets to her, the vibe changes. So I don't know whether or not they think this is a good thing for them. I think that it's not. So did Quorum acknowledge that? Sankar says she did. She says she would let him know she's doing Diddy's bidding. And she told Jane to keep her posted if anything changes. She says, yes, that's what she wrote. Miss Sankar, let's now turn to a few messages from Fahim Muhammad, Mr. Combs' head of security. It seems like the defense is trying to take everything off of, they're trying to take Diddy out of this RICO. It's not working. Everything that they're doing is in furtherance of what Diddy wants. I hope I don't sound like them in Fulton County, but that's the way I'm putting it, because that is how you prove a RICO. Everything they're doing is in furtherance of what Diddy wants. He is the head of this enterprise. This is how you understand it. It's easy to understand that way. So it says, okay, these were messages sent to Sean Combs, Christina Quorum, and Combs' account manager, correct? She said, yes, that's right. And then Mr. Muhammad is asking for approval for a disbursement, right? So he's asking for an approval for a disbursement. Yes, from an account labeled PD, personal. So they're trying to say that this is one instance where they're getting money from an account where it says it's personal. We all have not forgotten that they've gotten money out of the account that says Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Enterprises, Janice Combs Enterprises, that came out when the CFO was on the stand. And through other testimony, that's the only time Janice Combs Enterprises came out was when The CFO was on the stand. All right. So, and the funds were intended to cover various expenses. Correct. He was requesting authorization for several payments. Let's turn to a message exchange between Sean Combs and his chief of staff, Christina Quorum, from November 2023. Can you read what Ms. Quorum wrote? Here we go.
If you cannot be honest with me, this doesn't work.
So you see how they're trying to say, this is what I meant when I said they're trying to show that KK is like, she is keeping Diddy grounded. She's the one that's really running things. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're trying to make this look like. So let's get back to what else KK says to Diddy. And you said in furtherance, you heard Miss Love's voice. Now for all, for all, you know what? I gotta go to Cat Not Williams. I see she put up a video. I wasn't over there, but I did see Love in a courtroom, and I was just like, wait a minute, is this deja vu? But I still have that in my to-do list. I gotta go watch the video. Maybe I'll do it when I get off here, go to sleep to it. I don't know. Then I'm gonna have to rewatch it tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow may be good. I have some things to do for my mother, so tomorrow may be good. So here goes KK.
We all know what your kryptonite is, and you don't make the best choices.
They're trying to put all types of doubt here. We all know what your kryptonite is and where you don't make the best choices. So it said, did she indicate how she was feeling? Sanker said she did. She said she felt like he was lying and that it wasn't sitting well with her. And how did Mr. Combs respond? He replied, come take my phone. Is he telling her to come take his phone, or is that a threat from him? It could be taken either way when it comes to him. You know, listen, did Miss Karam respond to that? She said, yes. She said, it's not about your phone. If you're starting to lie, that will break me. Child. So when the defense asked, was there, I think, listen, no, this is KK and this is KK and Sean right here. This is Diddy. So please read the messages from Nat Moore, Sankar as Nat Moore. The article could have been worse. They're calling it a breakup fight. See, they don't make clear. I think that they have to bring in somebody else is going to have to fill in these spots. So Garagos, Your Honor, may I briefly confer with AUS Foster? The judge says yes. The judge tells the jurors to stretch if they want. So there, Garagos is speaking with the government. So she's back now. Okay. So I'd like the public and press screens to be turned off for this next part. We're looking at a message from November 22nd, 2003 between Jane and Christina Quorum, correct? That's correct. Jane wrote, is this Jane? Wait.
That's not Jane.
That's Mia. Sorry, I'm sorry. Jane.
I'm not doing any more hard partying. Then she mentioned something about wasting 3 years.
Sankar says yes. And here's a message from KK to Perez. So we know Perez was on the stand on Friday. She's asking, how does he look? And Perez responds, shockingly good, better than before, correct? They're talking about Diddy. KK, they just show, I just believe that this thing right here is just tying it up that Diddy is how they work in a RICO, but how KK is right under Diddy and the security is under her. And then the enterprise goes on and on and on. And the victims probably go right under the paid male workers because they were treated better than the paid male worker. Right. One of the paid male workers did an interview. I'm not paying for it. I'm just going to sit around and wait for months and months and months till she posted over here on YouTube. But I'm not paying to watch the video. But according to what they saying, they may not even be able to post it on here. It's so steamy, child. I'll tell y'all about that when I'm done. She says that's right. And Miss Garrigo says no further questions. I gotta remember I can't say Mr. because Mr. is Mark. This is his daughter. No further questions. So, and Ananya Sankar's off the witness stand. So now we have Delisa Pinlan. She's another summary witness, right? So she is going to be, I believe, the last witness before Brandon Paul. I'm telling you, he's the star witness. He's going to close this thing out with a bang. Listen, y'all. Stay tuned for tomorrow. So Delisa Pinlan is a special agent with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. She will be reviewing charts and data to verify their accuracy. Oh, maybe I can. Hold on. I might be able to. I have to think about that. Some charts presented focused on certain meetings. One highlights a meeting at a hotel in London involving Combs, Cassie, and Jules Theodore. Y'all remember Jules? I remember Jules from the beginning. So it also includes a list of flights taken by the individuals involved. Y'all, listen, they are further proving sex trafficking, including Jules and Cassie. So this is flights taken by the individuals involved, including Jules and Cassie. Ms. Pinlan, regarding the chart, the defense says objection. They have a sidebar. The judge says, Ms. Johnson, you may proceed. Ms. Pinlan, when you say someone attended the meeting, are you basing that on available records rather than video evidence? Who are the participants in this chat? Jules and Sean Combs. Please read Jules' message aloud. I'm available Friday through Sunday, whatever flights work, which one? And here comes this dummy.
Friday at 4.
Where were the flights between Los Angeles and JFK in New York? There you go. He paid him. That is X trafficking. It does not have to be from one country to the next. It's state to state. Cause somebody hold on, y'all. Let me. I'm gonna go on here and take care of this one, y'all. Just y'all just don't even. I got it, y'all. Don't even. Don't. Is there another? Hold on, y'all. I got it. Oh, okay, y'all. Thank you. I got it, y'all. All right. So let's go back to what I'm doing. We not over here. We go by the law over here. We not over here on no witch hunt. I am going by what is being presented in the courthouse. Don't nobody come over here putting no messages in the chat. What is that? Advertising no protests for nobody. Okay? So you will be removed and your comment will be removed and you will be blocked. Let's go. Got me all the way messed up. I moved it. Don't worry about for always. I caught it real quick. Don't come over here doing that. Go on the page that you have and you do that. But it's not good to come on people's pages just doing this all willy-nilly. All right, here we go. So where were the flights between? It says between Los Angeles and JFK in New York. Did document retention policies affect your ability to retrieve the records? She says, yes, I wasn't able to obtain those records due to retention limitations. So after the break, Delisa Pinlan will be on the stand for about 2 hours and might return tomorrow. Next will be Brendan Paul, Combs' former assistant and a law enforcement agent before the prosecution rests on Wednesday. And if y'all see any of that in any of the other videos, regardless to whether I stop them or not, please remove them and you can block this person from the channel. We're not doing any of that over there because, child, anyway. He probably ain't never met this man in person. They never had nothing to do with this man in person. Listen, I'm not stargazed. A shock or a celebrity. I'm not, that's just not what we doing. Okay, so the jury is also in. So they're back. So the judge says, Ms. Johnson, you may proceed. Ms. Penland, did you review American Express records as part of your analysis? Ms. Penland said, I did. This particular charge was for a flight from Miami booked for Cassandra Ventura. And here is the charge from the London hotel bill to that same American Express account. Whose American Express account was that? It belonged to Sean Combs. The payment was made using an account at Signature Bank. Can you read this message aloud? It says, it's the Trump in Columbus Circle. I'm heading there now. Can you contact the front desk and get the corn channel unlocked? Yeah, for always. Tried it. You got all this time to go around the people chat. This is not the first time that I've seen it, but it's the first time that I've seen it over here. Like, don't go somewhere with that. Like, that's not what we're doing. Like, how about you get a channel and run that all day long and tell people to come. I didn't go over there to see the trial, to cover the trial. You think I'm going to some protests? And what does Miss Ventura respond? She responds, she just called them. So basically, she called them to get the corn channel unlocked. Miss Penland, who are the individuals in these communications? Cassandra Ventura and someone identified as New York Punisher. Y'all know that's the Punisher. Also known as Sheree Hayes. That's the Punisher. And what are they discussing? They're talking about the cost. And in this next part, they're referencing videos. Your Honor, may we have the public and press screen turned off? The request is approved. Now I got to turn off all the daggone messages when I get off here. Ms. Penland, what was the date of the flight in the invoice shown to the jury? That was October 10th of 2012. A flight booked for Miss Ventura from Los Angeles to New York City, billed to Bad Boy Entertainment. Y'all see that? This is how they're building the case. This is the thing. Mr. Combs has his own cross to bear. We as the public don't have to do that, right? Whatever he had going with these people that he is in business with, that's between them, right? But you brought it to social media to talk about how you were the biggest thing going along with these companies, Diageo, whoever it is, right? You brought it to the internet and they quietly, behind the scenes, started pulling the plug to show you where your place is. But not only that, no longer are we hiding the crimes that you are committing. Open up the floodgates. Let it flow, right? So, where Diddy can be, it could just be, your belief. If you're watching what you do see, you watch a video where this lawsuit comes out, and then he goes live. She's a liar. It's a money grab. I ain't never put my hands on her. It's a money grab. She lying. And then them same people that you was arguing with, because they hold your future in the palm of their hands, says, roll that pretty bean footage. And what a place to roll it out on. CNN. So whoever this person is, go in CNN's chat and drop that. Because the video that they dropped caused him to retract everything that he said about that video. And so now let Survivor Speaks get back down to being serious now. So from that video, from the argument he put up, what was it, a day or two, a week before the video was dropped, we know he settled the lawsuit within 24 hours because he knew what it was. But he got on there, a matter of factly saying, she's lying, this is a money grab, I ain't never do whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Now the video comes out. You paying your attorneys. Now we know Mr. Agnafilo is the one that helped read over your apology and told you to depersonalize it and take Cassie's name out. He put Cassie's name in it, huddled with his family to make this apology video. And his attorneys told him to take it out. How about your attorneys should have told you to shut up and not say nothing? Because you just contradicted this very public false apology the other day. So how about people allow people to be held accountable for their own actions and stop trying to put it on a whole race of people where we got to get out here and grandstand and hold up the line for somebody that clearly on tape physically abused a woman. You come to somebody's page that's a domestic violence survivor to come over here and advertise some type of whatever this is that y'all having for Diddy. You on the wrong page, bruh. You on the wrong page. I'm just not a breast cancer survivor. And it's not like we didn't see this with our eyes. So everything that this man that's sitting in court for his own mess, he created this whole enterprise himself. Anything and everything that he said, he's even been caught not telling the truth to his own freaking attorneys during this trial. Pay attention, open your eyes. Do you think I'm going to lose one night of sleep to go out here and protest? It's not a witch hunt. People have to realize that they're never bigger than any program that you're in. You got to humble yourself. When you have things, nobody's telling you to dim your light, but you still have to be humble. And that's, advice I give anybody that's working arm in arm or elbow to elbow with celebrities, whichever area that you're working in, whatever field you're working in. You never can be bigger than the program. One day somebody can be the janitor, the next day they can be the CEO. So you don't step on people on your way up. And even in personal relationships, these type of instances rear their ugly head. You got you're supposed to be supporting each other, then you got one supporting another. One might be down a minute and this other one think they up, and they're going to step all over you and to show you exactly who they are. I'm not into that. When it comes to any type of relationship, stepping all over people, regardless as to what position I play in whatever relationship that I'm in. It makes sense if you hear what I'm saying. And I used to always say that when I was out there in the streets modeling. People have questions, I'm going to answer them. But when you go out of your way to try to shade me, sometimes it's just not a good thing. You don't know what type of strings I'm pulling in the backdrop. I've seen it over and over and over again. I've done it over and over and over again. I tell y'all stories. It's not just something that I'm making up. Let me tell you something for always. They hate models in New York. Hate me. They don't like me. They don't like me. And it's good long as y'all say it over there. Not with your chest though. Say it over there. Y'all busy trying to take a sister out, not knowing I'm throwing all y'all cop cars in the garbage. I got my favorite models that are actually still working today. I see them on TV. I see them in publications still now, mostly because it's digital online. We've always taken a liking to each other, and they're from the city. Oprah's double, Oprah's stunt double she's a plus size model. You probably wouldn't even believe it. But if I was still in the industry, right? This is what people don't understand. And I could be like fanning out on her, like, oh my goodness. But if I call her and I'm having an event and I need you to show up to this event, we doing this for charity. Like none of us is getting paid. She in New York, she gonna be right there. People like, how the hell? It's relationships that you build. And you just don't treat people bad for no reason, regardless to whether you're up here and they're down here, because you just never know. That woman gets paid a lot of money to be Oprah's double. But the line that I was the face of, she was dying to get in his designs. So you see how that works. They're like, how the heck the people that know that she's the double, because a lot of people don't even realize that she's Oprah's double. But that's how that works. So that's why I always say don't ever get bigger than the game. Don't ever get bigger than the only person. The person can only take so much. And that's in every situation, every circumstance. I don't have to be nasty to people. I just don't like when people come over here and do, but this young man did. And like I told you, I don't even hand out wrenches without asking people first. Cat Not Williams and Flesh of the Gods excluded. So be respectful of people's channels. And you cannot go around making everybody believe what you believe. You can respectfully, Allie, you can respectfully agree to disagree. But don't come over here advertising. God dang, I forget a lot of times to share the sponsor of the daggone show. God daggone it. Let's go and let's get over this. I just can't believe the audacity. I just thought I would never really see it. You know, I'm such a small. We're not even streaming on X today. How did you find? Why would you find me? I know my video ain't turning out there like that. Just how a former abuser said the reason he treated me how he did was because he could, and a lot of people don't speak up for fear of repercussions. That could be very, very true. Also, sometimes people are just tired. Sometimes people are tired. Sometimes people feel like lost, like they have nowhere to go. They probably, they're not thinking along the lines of, I'm being abused and, let me be out of here, or, maybe, something going on with a person just doesn't want to lose out on like so much. So many different things, fear, all of that. So, it is what it is, but how dare you come over here to my very small page and advertise the Diddy protest, child garbage, the survey. So let's move to the messages between Ms. Victoria and Mr. Coach from October 13th. Let me get through this so I can get out of here. Can you read them? It says, you ready for tonight? She says, yes, but I need to get something. Here go Combs, man. He mad. Here you go.
Man, you had all day. It's always so.
Oh, shut up. Jury and show messages Ventura sent separately to two men discussing times to meet and giving them information for a hotel room in New York. Was anything notable about that hotel booking? She says, yes, the room was reserved under the name Janet Clark. paid for in cash. Now, if we remember, that's one of Cassie's aliases, if we remember from the beginning of the trial. And there was another room. Yes, early in the morning on October 14th, one of the men texted Miss Ventura that he was in a different room. That second room was booked under the name none other than dun, 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 dun,
Frank Black.
aka Sean Combs, and was paid for using both cash and an American Express card. Some videos are shown to the jury, but not to the public. Miss Johnson, we're not seeing the footage on our end. Let's start playback from the 10:30 to 11-minute mark. Thank you. Now, Miss Penland, please look at line 23 in the transcript. I'll read Mr. Combs' messages. Please read Miss Ventura's. Mr. Combs said,
You feeling orny? Wanna have a little fun?
Ventura says, should I call Jules? Can you send the hotel details? I'm about to smoke. What are you up to? Sound like she trying to answer everything but what he asked her. So he says,
What's going on?
I asked him to drive around. We'll let him know when we're ready for him to come up.
I'm a bit more excited than last time. Dress casually, and can you bring baby oil?
Casual is fine, but no baby oil. So here we got Johnny on my way to El Hermitage. Would you mind driving around until I say when to come up? And they say we can break here. He said, let me see counsel at the sidebar. And at the sidebar, the judge releases the jurors. So Judge did she just update it here? So Judge Subramanian to update the attorneys tomorrow on the specific information, which will be told to the rest of the jurors about juror number 6. This was at the request of Alexandra Shapiro. Yeah, I kind of probably wouldn't. I mean, I guess you got to tell them something, and I'm pretty sure he'll come up with something that will not make them, feel away. But we all also have to remember, and I hope that the judge remembers that he has another situation with another juror, and so somebody was saying, oh, so this juror does this after they have an issue and juror number 6 is booted. But they don't know why juror number 6 is booted. They haven't said anything to the other jurors. And juror 6 was not supposed to talk to them once he was questioned outside of the rest of the jury. It could be he's sick and he needs to go to the doctor, so I need to be off tomorrow. Normally, they would tell you that in open court. So, of course, I know that they're wondering, but if there is a possible issue with another juror, if I was the judge, I would wait so that we can sum everything all up. And so that is like the breakdown. And so, as I stated in the opening, and I've already said it during this live, Brendan Paul is going to be he's the star witness of this case, right alongside of Cassie. I believe that Jane is a victim, but Jane is here. Even if, I think they really cleared up today with just one entry on the summary chart where Jane said she didn't want to do this anymore. It was made known to not only Diddy, but also to Christina Quorum, aka KK, who I believe is going to be on trial next. So I think it's going to be a pretty exciting day tomorrow. Tomorrow they should be starting back up with Penland in the morning, and whatever time they're done with her, then you're going to see and hear Brendan Paul on the stand. So shout out to my mods for holding it down in here. Please hit that like button. It's a free way to support the show for engagement, to get the video out into the algorithm. And so I'm going to go ahead and end the show the way I normally end the show. Thank you for everybody that stopped by, that watched. Trolls just troll on by. We don't do trolling over here. Um, any advertisement that is done over here, the mods already have links that can possibly be dropped over here. Anything else, we're not doing that over here. So I'm going to end the show like I always end the show by bringing awareness that men get breast cancer too. Because of the stigma surrounding the word breast, we have changed the word to peck and or chest cancer over here on the Survivor Speaks channel. So let's continue to end the stigma and continue to bring awareness that men get breast cancer. And to all of my ladies, please make sure that you are getting your mammograms. Put your hands up to Nesta C. We are already speaking into existence that everything is A-OK with you. And don't you deal it anybody. I'm going to repeat that again today for the 2 times. Don't you dare let anybody. Let me repeat it again for the 3 times. Don't you dare let anybody come into your house and disrupt the peace that passes all understanding. I am Survivor Speaks, and I'll see you guys in the next live or next video. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to be uploading the video of Lori Vallow Daybell. She's, the trial. They had the trial. I couldn't cover it. So I'm just going to put up the verdict, in the attempted unaliving of her nephew, her ex-nephew-in-law, Brandon Bordeaux. It was satisfying to my soul. But just one more thing about that case that came out during testimony came from the prosecution. Well, this is a big one. So we know that Brandon was married to Lori Vallow Daybell's niece, Melanie, right? And they made it known during this trial that they did not want to talk about certain things because the niece is still under investigation and the investigation is open. Child. So they may be having another trial and then maybe with the niece, she may be getting some time because Brendan Bordeaux rented a house on the same street of where they owned a home, but it was they were waiting for the closing. So he rented a house on the other side of the street, down the street, but the street, you can't drive straight through the street. You have to purposely go around. So he didn't tell anybody where he lived. The only person that knew where he lived besides him was his ex-wife. He only gave her the address because of the children. And so from reading in between the lines, the prosecution is saying that she is the only one that could have given that information to Alex and Lori. And basically in this trial, they basically told about the evidence that they have. And I was like, oh, wow. You might want to make you might want to just be like, can I just take an offer or something? Because if not, girl, they already explained without trying to explain some of the evidence that they have against you. I was just going and just you know what? Can I just take an offer as low as you can get, please? As low as you can get. Just give me what you got, real low, real low. What you got? Because I think she's in trouble. But anyway, I'm going to just put up that. I'm going to just put up the verdict reading. Lori was a straight biatch in this trial against Brandon Bordeaux. And it is crazy how she re-victimized him on the stand. And the judge had to put her out. The judge put Lori out the courtroom and went on a break. I said, did she just say that to the judge? He was like, Bell, get her out. 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 We're going to go on the break and we'll be back. But get her out of here. I said, he said, you have not. She's like, don't yell at me. I've been nothing but nice to you. He's like, no, you've been anything but nice. You've been nasty and some other things that just said. I love that. I was like, yeah, get her, man, get her. All right, y'all. Gotta go. See y'all later. Bye.
Survivor Speaks is the name at the end of the day. People love me or hate me, I don't care either way. Breast cancer busted through like a leaf in the night. A cancer's ass was knocked out before the end of the fight. A champion coming through, knocking everything out. It's just hard if you see, I do nothing for clout. Just like cancer, I'll let nothing take me out. So be respectful when you step foot inside of my house. It'll be clear to have your ass escorted on out. So hop up out the bushes, wipe your feet, take a seat, and get comfortable and chill with your girl. Survivor Speaks, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Who, what? I'm Survivor Speaks. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? It's time for you to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you get a notification each and every time that I go live. Yeah.